All right, bet we're up and running. All right, what is up, YouTube? We're gonna make this video quick and short because I'm in the library, so I'm not really trying to get loud and rowdy and cause a ruckus. But the title of this video is going to be the art of storytelling, or how to storytell. Shout out to Elion if you're watching this. You're the one that brought up the idea of I should make how-to videos. The reason I didn't do how-to videos is because I don't feel like I'm qualified enough yet. I don't feel that I have enough credentials to, about many things. But this I do. So, if you haven't watched none of my videos, this is a video you would want to watch. And I don't say it on every video. I probably said this on 2 videos of now. So this video will easily go into the top 5 category um, for me. So, let's begin. What is the art of storytelling? For me, a lot of my success has come by and will continue to come by how I tell my stories. My friends back at home, shout out to the Avengers, they know that for almost anything, I have a story to tell or I experience it some way, somehow. To the point where sometimes I say a story and they're like, that's crazy, bro. Cool story, you know what I'm saying? But look, I'm trying to get here. And I apologize if my energy is down. I just had a tough essay and my energy's a little drained. But last night I was on the phone with a girl. If she sees this, shout out to you. We were on the phone for 2 hours. And she was like, okay, I don't do this to every girl. I'm not on the phone every day, but she has me feeling some type of way. So, I might have to. But we were on the phone for 2 hours and she was asking me, hey, Edgar, like, ask me some questions. Like, let's talk. And me personally, I don't like to force conversations. If I have to forcefully find a way to talk to you or you to talk to me, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not the type of guy to ask you one-ended questions. What's your favorite color? What do you like to do? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite season? Why? Like, no, 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 no. If the conversation flows, I'm gonna let it flow, and if it doesn't, I might just hang up the phone. I could try again tomorrow. It's okay. So as we were talking, we were getting to know each other. She was cool as fuck. I like her a lot. She's cool. It got to the point where she was like, "Why do you wear this ring all the time? Or why do you wear these bracelets all the time?" It's a true story. And I was like, "Do you want the real answer? Or do you want the answer I tell everybody?" She's like, "No, give me the real answer." I said, "Oh, because back from my friend Kenny from Texas, which I recognize him as my brother, he's the one that gave me this ring. It's not real gold. It's honestly worth nothing, but it means a lot to me. We've been through a lot, and I gave her the story of Kenny. What about that blue bracelet? I could easily say stuff like, "Oh, it's just blue bracelet." No, but $100 bills are blue now. When you're open your MetaTrader 4 and you're in profit, it's blue. So in the inside of this bracelet, it says blue is better. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a meaning behind everything. Everything I do has an intention. Everything I say has a purpose. If I interact with you, it's because there's a purpose behind it. I don't just say hi to hi because I know there's a purpose behind everything I do. Anything I say has a purpose. Anything I wear has a purpose, right? So when I start telling people like what I do, like, I say it in a story. There's a quote that I go by that I live by, actually, and it goes, "Facts tell, stories sell." Hear it again. Facts tell, stories sell. When you were a kid, before you went to sleep in kindergarten, the teacher read you a book. Lights were off, we went to sleep. When you were at home, this is mostly for the girls. I don't know. I never read. My parents never read me a book, but maybe your dad read you a book as a kid to go to sleep. Your mom read you a book to go to sleep. Right? We hear stories all around us in our life. Back in middle school, there's a teacher called Mr. Arbenton. Some hated him, some loved him. I was in the middle of it. So some days I liked him, some days I hated him. But in every classroom, he would have a story about, oh, I had a buddy of mine back in the 90s. He was wild. I had a buddy of mine back in high school. Like, he had a story for whatever subject we were talking about that day. He had a story to back it off with. It made it easier to understand the lecture because not only were we listening, not only were we learning, but we were comprehending what he was saying. You understand what I'm saying? So it makes the learning a lot easier. When you're in a conversation with somebody and they're just shooting answers as nothing, you don't seem that interesting. But when you're telling a story at dinner, when you're telling a story in a meeting, when you're telling a story at a conference, like, okay, well, so what happened next? What happened after that? Really? Okay, so what's next? They want to know what's going on with you. It all goes back to you. What are you experiencing? What are you doing to gain enough stories to tell in your life? When people tell me, so where have you been? Oh, I've been to, a couple cities, Arizona, New York, Miami, Panama Beach, Dallas a lot, uh, Oklahoma a lot. Like, I've been here. Okay. Why'd you go there? If we have time, I'll tell them the story. Okay. But you got to make sure these stories are interesting because look, you become interesting when you become interested. So for people to listen to you, for people to give you their time of day, you have to realize that storytelling hooks a person more than anything else. Next time you're on a date with a girl or with your boyfriend, tell some stories. Why are you the way you are? What the stuff you do, why do you do that? Don't just give an answer or you don't even have to answer. Listen to what people say. If people give you a quick answer, they're pretty boring. And in my opinion, from what I experienced. Not all the time, from my experience. Now, if I tell somebody the other day I went to Kansas City and I was in a conference and I asked the owner of the company, so what made you exact? No, I didn't tell. I said, uh, from when you started to where you are now, what failure was considered your biggest win, and what win was considered your biggest failure? I was like, wow, I never got that question before. He's like, well, let me take you back to 2003, back when I lost my first company. Story. Now we're locked in. Okay, talk about it. You get what I'm saying? So whenever you're speaking, whenever you're on a date, whenever you're in a room, whenever it's your turn to speak, speak in a way of storytelling. Speak in a way of like, what is next? Okay, we told us this part, but what is chapter two? Okay, you told us, okay, what is chapter three? And if you want to leave it better, leave them on chapter six when there's 8 chapters left. So next time they see you, hey man, so what happened? Like, you're gonna finish the story what you were telling us? Oh, that's I'm gonna say that for another time. All right, well, I'm gonna see you next week. You get what I'm saying? So next time you're in a meeting, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this, or in a conference, anything, story tell. You become a lot more interesting. People become a lot more attracted to you. I'm not talking about looks. I'm just saying they want to be around you, and you seem to have a lot more credentials than anybody else. So, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. The art of storytelling, how to storytell. If you want to know how to storytell, honestly, I would suggest give me a DM. I have a lot of experience in it. Me personally, I can take you guys back to again another story. I can take you guys back to that when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, which it doesn't seem that long ago, but it was a few years ago when I started doing MLM. And shout out to network marketing. They're the foundation for my all my success. And I was selling and telling stories since I had no credentials. I was 16, 17, 18 years old, 15 years old. I had no credentials back then, but I had a lot of stories. I could say stories, and these stories got people, okay, let's keep Edgar around. I like what he's saying. There was no reason for a 16, 17, 18-year-old to be around people that were 6, 7, 8 years older than him and listening to him. Why? Because my stories were telling. My stories were selling. Again, facts tell, stories sell. That's a big clue I'm gonna give you guys. Not a clue, a big hint to success. I don't call myself successful. I'm way far from it. But I'm a lot closer where I was 3 years ago though. So Next time you're in a conversation, make sure you story tell. It may keep the conversation last longer. It may keep you more interested, and it may help you close the next deal, close the next sale, get the next job, get the next conversation going. So, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have not yet, I highly recommend you guys watch this video or re-hear it again. And if you want to know more about it, know some more tips, maybe some advice, DM me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one.